My name is Francesca Romana Piccone and I am a professional educator and pedagogist. In 2003, I graduated in education sciences in the field of extracurricular educator, and in 2013, I decided to get a degree of pedagogy. 4 years I have been working at the SAPSA Cooperative and SAPSA DUE, a social cooperative. At that moment within the cooperative, I am in charge of coordinating interventions in the areas of anti-school dropout, education and school guidance and street education. SAPSA DUE is precisely a social cooperative born from a split with a SAPSA cooperative and deals mainly with the management of services to the person and in the social educational area, and in the management of prevention and reintegration services in school contexts aimed at minors at risk of deviance, exclusion, and unaccompanied foreign minors. DUE manages educational communities for minors, transitional flat groups for young adults, reception facilities for unaccompanied foreign minors, social educational center, and green year centers. It deals with creative and expressive workshops in street education, which are territorial services for the prevention of youth problems, educational orientation, and also offers psychological support activities. The territory in which SAPSA DUE operates is mainly Bologna and the metropolitan area of Bologna. In educational sciences and specifically as an extracurricular educator, I started working within projects in the Emilia-Romagna region that provided legal support on the migrant issue. I was mainly involved in writing articles on particular situations that occurred on Italian territory, but not only. After this experience, I started to enter the world of education since I had obtained this degree. I started by working at another cooperative in a community where women victims of trafficking were taken in. I also worked at a gypsy camp where I mainly cared for children with home interventions, meaning that I went directly to the homes of the gypsies living in this camp. I did the intervention because my first degree thesis was entitled Rome, Educational Between Persecution and New Laws, and so the cooperative I was working for at the time proposed this intervention to me because I was sensitive to the Rome issue. Immediately after this experience in 2007, I was hired by the cooperative. I still work for today, and I worked for several years in the school orientation, educational orientation for both minors and adults. For minors, this intervention focused mainly on minors reported by the social services who had difficulties due to a lack of knowledge of the educational and scholastic offerings in the area, and a lack of attention on the part of families regarding the future choice to be made for their children. The task of the guidance educator was therefore to follow the students in order to make a conscious choice for their future school or training. They are prevention interventions because good orientation and awareness in the future choice of school or vocational training center guarantees fewer school dropouts. I also worked for several years on street education's interventions in the same areas. I used to monitor the area and set up workshops, ad hoc intervention based on the needs expressed by young girls and boys. Later, I was involved in the interventions in communities for minors. My passion during my university years was being an educational in a juvenile prison. When the opportunity arose within my community of the new opening of a community for minors coming from juvenile prison or penal communities, I started working there. Working in this community for minors also allowed me to do a lot of training in the field, which gave me more tools to deal with the cases I was faced with. Working in the community taught me how to work as a team, which means collaboration between the many colleagues working within the same project to achieve common goals and individual children. Subsequently, I started working on the topic of anti-school dropout, which I still deal with today. Initially, within an area of the municipality of Bologna, I work on anti-school dropout within comprehensive institutes for boys and girls attending the secondary school. And it is an intervention I am still involved in because my cooperative now coordinates this type of intervention in 2 other areas. Specifically, I'm also the coordinator of the anti-school dropouts interventions. The anti-school dropout intervention is an all-around intervention in the sense that the educator works on different levels. On a formal level, meaning relations with school directors, with teachers, with educators of the territorial services of the municipality of Bologna. And also on more informal levels, meaning in relations with the boys and girls referred by the territorial educational service. It is an intervention that is very stimulating and interesting, even if at the same time it can be frustrating because our role is sometimes not recognized. Most of the time, however, when the teacher or the services in front of us understand the importance of the contribution that an anti-school dropout educator can make, there is a recognition that makes the work rewarding. Anti-school dropout takes care of the age group of students in compulsory education, mainly from 11, which is the middle school, but there may also be cases of intervention in primary schools up to 16, that is until the fulfillment of compulsory schooling. In addition to the coordinating anti-school dropout interventions, I also work in another area of the city of Bologna on training and educational guidance and street education interventions. Scholastic and educational guidance and street educations are linked to anti-school dropout. They are in fact prevention interventions. Many years of experience in the field of school and training guidance and anti-school dropout have meant that I have been able to acquire more expertise on certain topics. We are talking about very current topics and therefore constant training in the area of guidance and anti-school dropout have been fundamental in increasing and growing my professionalism in this area, especially at a delicate time like this. We are coming out of 2 years of pandemic, and this has disrupted the lives of so many people, but especially of girls and boys. The pandemic has led to an increase in cases of social withdrawal. One of the consequences of school withdrawal is precisely school dropout, and being able to put in place innovative interventions that can help young people overcome their critical moments is crucial, and ongoing training in this area is necessary.